some fishy shit's going on, and
big time.
I think we uncovered a stolen car ring and all this stuff, and everybody's kind of ignoring it. But if you go through and watch those videos, a police officer paid $36,000 cash for a car on OfferUp, which is a little fishy, and did not drive it in the first 3 days of his possession. Welcome back to another end of the year video. I said this about one video ago.
That's right.
We're here, we're at my house. We're in front of two beautiful supercars. That one's a supercar, this is a hypercar. I really like that one. I love this one. But I love this place because I'm here with my best friend, Tony, and Mario behind the camera, where he should always stay. Today we're talking about the top repossessions of the year. And if you guys just saw the previous video we did with our top 5 wrecks, thank you for watching. This one here is a little bit more emotional because, you know, when we go out and repo these cars, we're like life and death.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the real deal. And I like kind of play it down a little bit, but like legit, there's been some scary moments. Some of them not on film, so I could share you some stories. But fortunately, we did get a few of these abandoned cars or repossessions on film. So we're here to show you those.
Number 5 at the bottom of the list.
I don't think it's number 5. I think we only got 4. We'll start with number 5. Though.
Number 5 is the orange Evo that Mario and Beer did have to go all the way out to Valley of Fire to go get. So a nice hour and a half drive in traffic.
This one was abandoned. And honestly, if you guys rent a Lamborghini, stay close to the office if you're going to abandon it, because it's really annoying driving like 2 hours away to go and pick up a car because you're too embarrassed to say that you broke it, or you're not okay driving it, or you're just plain retarded and want to leave it in the middle of the desert for hours on hours before you tell us.
Yeah, because then we have to track it, then we have to figure out if the car was in the Bermuda Triangle of breakdowns.
That's correct.
So just so everybody knows, in case any cars ever break down, they are always at the Valley of Fire or the Hoover Dam.
Absolutely.
As far as you can possibly be away.
And if you're in a slingshot and it breaks down, it's only at the Hoover Dam. and it's always at 4 o'clock. So we're going to have to get a satellite office at the Hoover Dam, satellite mechanic shop. But all right, that was a good one. So number 4.
The Rolls-Royce abandoned in the ghetto.
You say ghetto like that was the title of the video.
Oh, it was. In the ghetto. So if you guys ever want to reference back to that video,
this particular situation sucked because it was blatantly Tony's fault.
That one?
Michael's fault.
Oh, I don't think that one was my fault.
You're the general manager of the business, so obviously it's your fault. You're always in charge, and you let Michael rent this car to someone that didn't have a real credit card.
That's true.
It's like it's super A, B's, and C's. If your credit card's not in your name, it's not going to be a legitimate rental. It's like, that's what my opinion is. And Tony always ignores the fact that Michael makes all these damn mistakes. And it used to be Hermes, but we moved past Hermes, and now Michael is the new person making all the damn mistakes. And he rents this car, and I looked at the second the car didn't come back, okay? All I do is I'm like, all right, let me see the driver's license, the credit card, let me see the insurance. And I get the picture, and it's like our computer like loads like this, and the picture starts coming up. I see the picture of the person, and then I see the credit card, and I'm just like, okay, it's gone. Let's go get it.
Yeah.
You know immediately that they made a mistake, and that's what the case was today, or that particular video. It was dropped in a very poor part of town, and it was destroyed. I mean, literally destroyed. It had cigarette burns in the back seat. The door was all scratched up.
The
tires were
broken.
They broke the shifter off. It's these cars. You guys can't see the way they smell, right?
Oh.
All you get to see is the damage on the cars, but these cars smell so bad. That's why I always take Tony, because I'm never driving them back. Like for me, like the way they feel, and it grosses me so much. It grosses me out. He drove it with gloves, and he had the windows down. And that was about the only time you wore a mask.
Yeah. That day it was not fun.
It was ridiculous, and that car sucks because we had to replace all 4 wheels. We had to do all that stuff, and it was on our dime. Because Michael made a mistake, there was no legitimate insurance for it. There was nothing. And that's the biggest problem in a car rental is when you're a car rental owner like myself and you have a employee who is having a bad day, it only takes one bad rental to ruin you. right? And luckily that particular situation, we caught it before it went too far. And I think the reason we caught it was because they lost the key.
Yep.
Right? And
we came out there with the spare.
We had to go with the spare, and they never brought us back the key. And a Rolls-Royce key is $5,000, so don't lose a Rolls-Royce key. But that particular situation, we went and had to pay about $25,000 to $30,000 in repairing the
a lot
car.
of money for that car,
We had to
actually.
re-leather the whole rear seat. I mean, the whole thing was broken. The trunk had some spilled stuff in it. I mean, it was just disgusting. I was so mad. And
The biggest thing about these cars, when people get in them and smoke in them, don't they use the window? Everybody uses the cup holders.
that's true. Yeah,
It's
it was so
disgusting.
much. There was
It's
so much ash
disgusting.
in that car, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Let's just get. I start getting mad, and now I want to go back and fire Michael. Right. It's just like, Michael, if you're watching this video, you're lucky that we're 30 minutes away from the office right now, because I'll cool down by then. So number 3.
Do you remember that white Ghost that we took from that back alley that day? We thought it was stolen, and we drove it out.
Where?
It was
happened
it
so
was
many
right
times.
by that black and silver Ghost. It was like two
yeah.
streets
Oh
over.
yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
That was another one. I forgot all about
Yeah,
that.
that one wasn't in that bad a shape, but they had it for 3 days
wheels
for
were
free.
curbed.
Oh yeah, we
like
had to
a
replace the wheels. It was that was a whole curb.
Yeah. So number 3. So like half repo, half accident was the Ferrari F8 Tributo. Beautiful car.
Oh yeah, on its
Beautiful car.
first rental.
Yeah, that was a tough one. The renter said basically,
I'm sorry about this headache. Guys, can I not be filmed? Is it okay if I can't?
We can blur you.
Yeah, we can blur you, but we have to get a statement for the insurance purposes.
There was a rock on the road. I went over it with the front driver's side, and it was right on in the left lane. And then I hit a little bit, grazed a little bit of that little, kind of little
Like the brush on the side?
Huh?
Like the brush on the side?
Yeah, in the middle of the road.
Oh, in the middle.
Yeah.
I hit a rock that was in the street after we did some little investigative
He must have hit a
discovery work.
rock about about this big, because the car was totaled.
he hit the rock the size of the curb.
Yeah, he did. Hit
So
the
you
rock the
hit-
size of a curb.
Sir, you hit a median.
You hit a building. It was not a rock. The rock makes up the building, but you hit the whole thing. That car super sucked because
Yeah,
his
it did.
insurance was the worst to deal with. They ended up paying for the damages, but they didn't give us the fair value on the car. We didn't get loss of use, and it was a fight. He himself was a really nice guy.
Yeah, he was. But one of those times where you're just embarrassed by what happened.
Yeah, and the problem is that like when you don't communicate, it makes everything worse.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So he was a nice guy, and I do appreciate his kindness on the phone and his willingness to work with us. But at the end of the day, when you make poor decisions, you need to man up, man. And you need to come out and you need to be like, look, I hit this thing, I was drunk, or I was this, or I wasn't paying attention, I was on my phone. It doesn't really matter. Same thing that happened with our STO, right? Our STO had a very similar accident. Now that's still an ongoing investigation, unfortunately. It's been about 6 months. So we're gonna hear about that one in 2022.
It's okay.
It's a good story. It's also a really unique story.
Very.
So look forward to that one. But with these particular cases, it's just a matter of responsibility.
It is.
Right? We go out there,
is.
we pick it up, and we lose the car. It was the
Yeah.
first rental. The car had 356 miles on it.
Yep.
356 miles. And we bought it with 200 miles. So he put on 156 miles,
Which we can see.
which we can
on the
see, and then
GPS.
wrecked it,
Yeah.
and then just walked away. So let's go to number 2.
Number 2, the white Lamborghini that was abandoned in the middle of the desert.
That
Now,
was a funny story.
That was
because
tough.
it made the local news.
It did.
And I think we found out about it by the Highway Patrol calling us and saying, "Hey, is this your car?"
He knew it was our car based
Yeah.
on Houston's history, that's for sure. The name Croster rings bells at Metro.
Yeah,
That's
and
for sure.
yeah, all over Nevada actually, which is a bad thing if anybody is working here at the police department. I love you guys. Okay, I mean no ill touchings. This is not my fault. All right, just
This
wanna
one
start
wasn't,
with
he was very cool about it. He
Yeah.
was really, really nice about
So
it.
this guy that was driving this car was definitely drunk, and who rented this car to this guy?
That was,
Michael.
yeah, it was.
It was
Oh, boy.
100% Michael. Michael is definitely leaving some leniency on the table. So if you're a scam artist or you want to steal from us, please make sure you rent from Michael. Tony's, it's not going to get past him.
No.
It's definitely not getting past me.
No.
And well, Mario doesn't work up front, so Michael is your only option. So if you guys need to get a quick come up, come on down to Royalty and give Michael your money. That being said, the white Huracan guy was driving.
It was rented to his girlfriend.
Correct.
It was her birthday. She was like, "Oh, this is my gift to him," and it had to have been half hour later. We get the call from Metro, hey, your car was involved in a chase. It's over here on the side of the 15. And I'm thinking, okay, it's on the side of the 15. Pulled over, no big deal.
High-speed chase.
Yeah, high-speed chase on a Sunday when California traffic is backed up to basically our office.
It's like 20-mile back.
Yeah, it's awful. So we hit the GPS, just double check where it is, and it's off the 15.
It's kind of weird.
Sure.
It's in the middle of the desert. He was driving on a service road, like it was like whoop-de-doos and jumps. I mean, it was literally like an off-road area, driving the Huracan down like normal. Like the guy literally thought he was on the road.
Yeah.
His brain wasn't screwed on right or something, and he was just driving down the road, and he legitimately thought. So the police were chasing him on this dirt road, going 15, 20 miles an hour the whole time, and he gets kind of caught in a ditch, and they finally stop him. They arrest him. We go pick up the car. It's so deep in the desert, the tow truck actually gets stuck, and Beer and Tony get stuck in the desert. That's what's really crazy is the Lambo didn't get stuck, the truck did.
Yeah.
So they ended up getting it out, and
it was one of those times where I was like, oh my God, if I have to call Houston and tell him we got this tow truck stuck, I said, we are getting this tow truck out. We are not calling Houston and telling him we got the tow truck stuck.
Good times.
And you couldn't just put the wheel lift up, guys. By the way, it's rear-wheel drive truck.
Yeah.
It's not all-wheel drive. You can't just pull it out the front wheels.
Yeah, that was one of the comments on the video.
Yeah.
But number 2 is pretty funny. No injuries. Nobody got hurt. Nothing else. But number 1 is the worst thing that has ever happened to Royalty Exotic Cars.
Yeah.
It is the most complicated, the most frustrating, and the largest amount of money we have lost in our company's history. We had a nice little lady come by and rent our Hellcat. And our Hellcat was in many, many, many accidents over its life.
Everybody knows.
It was in probably 4 or 5 different accidents.
Mm-hmm.
It was stolen quite a few times, or, taken back. Nothing in 2021 except this one incident. And the reason why it only happened once in 2021 was because it sat most of its life in a police impound yard.
Yeah.
So the gist of the story here is a nice little lady comes and rents the car for 3 days and says she's going to go to California. She pays for it. Everything is good. We get her all set up. We do the contract, and she goes. So on the 2nd day, we're just monitoring the cars in general, and we see the cars just sitting outside Dodger Stadium, just kind of sitting there. So we're like, oh, she must be just relaxing, maybe going to the game or doing something. On the 3rd day, it's in the same spot, doesn't move. The 4th day, she doesn't come back. We're like, you're going to be late. We sent her a text because she was due back the morning of the 4th day. And it's 7 o'clock at night and the car hasn't moved yet on the 3rd day. And we're getting a little worried that something happened. Now, normally I'm just like, okay, pull the GPS out of the car. Something happened like that. We have multiple GPSs in the car, so we always have a fail-safe. But both of them were saying the same data.
Yep.
I don't really understand what people go through in their mind, but sometimes people rent cars and don't drive them. Okay, whatever price they are, $1,000 or $10, it doesn't really matter. So I was like, it's weird, but it's not crazy. 4th day comes, doesn't move. Okay, let me call her. She's saying, oh, I'm so sorry. I just woke up. Just give me all these excuses, yada, yada, yada. We're on our way back right now. So I said, okay, cool. Doesn't matter. 5th day, car's still there. I said, all right, now we got to go get the car.
Yep.
Now,
But it had turned on.
We saw
that everything was working.
It was, yeah. So actually on the 4th day, it had turned on and it drove about 2 blocks down the street and it went back. So it had moved 1 time in those 3 days. So I wasn't able to go there. And happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
People just don't bring them back. And I'm thinking, what?
This time we were like, oh, this is going to be quick.
It's an
all right,
easy
we'll go
one.
pick up the car.
We'll pick up the car, whatever. So I
Neither
send
one of us
Cedric
went.
and my team that was working at the Orange County store. And I said, just go over there. I'll give you guys a spare key, and you just take care of it. So go pick up the car. We'll make a new key. We'll be done, and that's that. So they get there, and they go to this guy's house. The car's in the driveway. Cedric goes in. He gets the car back, puts it in the street. And in the meantime, a father of the person who had possession of the car came out and said, what are you guys doing? You're stealing my son's car. So here's where it gets wild. Now, you guys can go through and watch this video. It's very good. It's got millions of views, I think. It's got a lot of views, at least. I don't know how many, but it's a really long story. I'm going to give you the gist of it. The guy's dad says, my son just bought this car. The son comes home. He's a police officer for the county corrections in Los Angeles. He buys this car on OfferUp from a guy in a parking lot for $36,000. This is a Hellcat. It's worth 50, 60 grand, easy at the time. And he gives him all cash. The guy gives him a title, signs off on it. So we're sitting here like, what are you talking about? I got the title over here.
This is my car.
It's my car. Like, give me my keys. I got to go, man. Like, this is getting ridiculous. The cop sees the car because this title is this, and the guy's a police officer, and they want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyways, long story short, some fishy shit's going on. And
Big time.
I think we uncovered a stolen car ring and all this stuff, and everybody's kind of ignoring it. But if you go through and watch those videos, a police officer paid $36,000 cash for a car on OfferUp, which is a little fishy, and did not drive it in the first 3 days of his possession. So I don't know, guys.
On that title, wrong year.
It was the wrong year.
Wrong year on the
Had
title.
a missing part of the VIN number, 16 digits, not 17. But the moral of the story is, if
A Toyota
I'm,
plate on it.
It had a Toyota license plate on it. If I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to drive the living shit out of it. When I bought this car right here, I drove it for 3 days straight. I didn't get out of it. All it was damn LFA.
I don't think you buy a Hellcat and not drive the shit out of it.
That's
for
the
first 3
truth,
days.
right? Bought it, parked it at his house 3 days, drove to the gas station once. Doesn't make any sense, right? It never did. Anyways, I lost the money of the car. I lost 5 months of rental. I lost all the impound fees. The police held that car for 4.5 months. Would
But
not release it to me.
Also told us, and it was on the paperwork when we picked it up, that they called us to pick up that car 4 days after.
And they're such liars.
That we have
They're all
recorded
liars. I got
conversation.
recorded everything. I went down. I would love to have pursued the police department and all this stuff and really taken it farther, but unfortunately, it just wasn't worth it. And I'm not down to like spend more money to make nothing. Some fishy shit goes down in LA. Don't
Absolutely.
rent cars in LA. That's a given. And if you're gonna rent cars to anybody, don't let them go to LA.
Yeah.
We've actually stopped all LA traffic. I don't care who you are. You could have rented from me 500 times and you're still not going to LA.
No.
Tony's not going to LA in my car.
I don't want to go to
He
LA.
might steal a car. We don't know.
You
We
never
don't know
know.
anything that's going on in LA.
That's right.
LA changes people.
It does.
Okay?
Especially right now.
Right now.
Nobody ever called to see who the renter was from the LAPD either.
No one.
So
Nobody called, nothing. They didn't want any information. They knew what was going on, and they're ignoring every part of it. That's my 2 cents.
it's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, so that being said, those are the top 5 repossessions / incidences that happened at Royalty in 2021. Pretty epic year. We got through it. We're on to 2022. I'm excited. I want to get through 2022 pretty quick.
Yeah.
21 went by really fast, but I want to get over this. I want to get back to normality. We've been saying that for 3 years now. Let's just get this shit done, and let's get back to the good times at Royalty where we got people just getting normal speeding tickets and not just doing weird shit in cars. So you guys enjoy the year. Happy holidays. I'm going to leave you at that. And Mario's going to give away some free merch at the end of this video to make everybody super happy. Thank you for bearing with us for like 30 minutes. I don't even know how long this video is. I'm super cold. It's 36 degrees outside. We're sitting in front of my house, and I'm about to go in.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stay tuned in for everything that comes in 2022.